Hey guys, Haikrazon here with another Platinum Trophy video. We're just going to be ranking every single one of my Platinums. I've been Platinum Trophy hunting for about 13 years now. My very first Platinum was Borderlands 1. PSNP has it dated as January 8th of 2010. My very first trophy, I believe, came from Mirror's Edge, back when my buddy let me play on his PS3 and I made an account and stuff like that. So long time. This is what 13 years of trophy hunting looks like. Taken relatively seriously. I don't go so hard that, I do like regional duplicates. I rarely even do auto pops. I have a few on there, nothing too crazy. You will see, unfortunately, a few rattas. I have had some moments of weakness buying that stuff, but for the most part, this is taken relatively seriously through the course of all the years, having to deal with work and everything like that. And yeah, we just kind of want to go over it, kind of give some thoughts on the harder ones, the ones I've enjoyed more, some of my rarest ones, things like that. So let's get into it here. I do have quite a bit of information up here, but for the most part, I'm going to try and start random, and also in terms of ranking these, it's just going to kind of be overall, the actual enjoyment of the game, the platinum experience, the difficulty, kind of everything all in one. I'm not just going to be rating based on, oh, this was one of the hardest ones, so it's an S tier. It's not going to be like that. So I'm just going to kind of go random, minus the very first one I am going to do is Borderlands 1, because this was my first platinum ever, and this is what really got me into getting platinums. I still remember that like it was yesterday, so that's definitely going to get an A tier. I would give it an S tier just because it was my first one, but I don't think that's really a good enough reason, especially because, the Borderlands, they're your typical RPGs, skill trees, and hilarious comedy, so that's awesome. But I would give it an S, but we'll just stick with A. So yeah, first one there. The rest, they'll be random. Operation Tango. This was pretty fun. I'm big on co-op experiences because growing up, I was a Call of Duty kid, so I spent a lot of time playing with my friends, and the older you get, the harder that is to do, and I don't really play Call of Duty too much anymore. So the co-op experiences are super fun. I love stuff like that, especially when it's like forced co-op, like we were here, or It Takes Two, stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. So that's a solid B. Solid B. Nothing too mind-blowing here. Sly Cooper, I don't know which one this is. I have all four of them, but they all look the same. I want to put them into A tier just for the nostalgia, but they are super simple platinums. I mean, you're definitely not impressing anybody for having those. But I mean, man, it's the stuff like Ratchet and Clanks and Jak and Daxter's, that stuff I want to put in A for nostalgia, but I don't know that's entirely fair, so we'll just throw those up there real quick. Let's grab this Black Ops 1. I'll definitely give that an A. That was typical Call of Duty trophy list. You're looking at beat the game on veteran, get all the collectibles, do mission specific trophies. Treyarch always has zombie trophies, and I'm not much of a zombies person, but this one had some crazy zombies trophies I didn't think I would ever get. I remember the very last trophy me and my best friend back in the day needed was to, I think it was like, use the pack-a-punch crossbow to shoot your partner, and then it attracts the zombies, and you need to kill so many. So like, not only did you need to make sure you had the crossbow from the box, you also had to get it pack-a-punched. You also had to make sure your rounds were early enough that it will actually kill the zombies instead of just hurting them. There's a lot going into it. We were literally on it wasn't Varuk, knocked down Toten maybe, and like I was getting chased by zombies. He jumped off the starting platform and shot me. It was like all slow-mo. It was fucking incredible. So that's definitely going to go up there. I know COD Platinums are super basic, but that was such an incredible experience for me, and I was still very, very heavy into COD games back then. Yeah, so definitely land on an A there. I don't know, this was one of the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storms. Average. I mean, I do love anime fighting games, and I did love Naruto back in the day, but it's nothing really impressive in terms of getting the platinum. Most of them have online trophies, and I don't know, fighting game platinums are always very, very tedious for me, so that's nothing too crazy there. Let's grab this one here. This was kind of like a lull game, Simulacra. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad game at all, but, you know, when you're in between games and you just don't know what to do, you find stuff on sale or something that's free in PS Plus or something like that. That's kind of what that was. It wasn't forgettable. It wasn't bad, but definitely nothing impressive. Neat to experience. Let's grab one of these and get them out of the way. Don't worry. Like I said, I know I've had moments of weakness where, you know, I buy this bullshit for $1 for a platinum because I'm bored and don't know what I want to do between games. All the Ratta stuff, all that bullshit's going down here. I know. I'm aware I'm not going to defend them, but I do have some. Kind of actually on that note, here's a couple other ones. I don't even remember the title of these games. Let me check real quick. Actually, here's some of my very few duplicates as well. One is Legends of Talia Arcadia, and one is Sakura Succubus, the first one. There's like a ton of those. They are Rattas. I mean, they're not as scummy to be made because they're just visual novels, weeby visual novels, a little on the perverted side to appeal to that. But I mean, you can literally just put on like the fast forward and skip through everything. It's like a 2-minute platinum. So they're still crappy platinums, but you can tell whoever created it actually put a lot of work into dialogue and script writing. So I wouldn't say they're as scummy, but in terms of platinums, yeah, there's nothing there. I bought them specifically for that. Not bad though, not bad. Moving on here. Let's grab another one. Nexomon. Oh god, Nexomon was so good. I have the first one and the second one, which was weird because the second one actually came out first on console than the first one, or at least on PlayStation, which was really weird. Easy A tier for me. I loved Pokemon as a kid, especially the OG. Like, I probably spent the most time on Ruby, but I started with Red. I think I did Gold. Yeah, it was Gold, and then Ruby, and then went from there. So I always wanted to have clones. Like, I'm okay with clones. There's nothing wrong with clones to me. You know, if someone's doing something right and you just want to do your version of it, that's sick. And you don't get a lot of, especially good quality clones on PlayStation for trophies. So the Nexomons, dude, those were so good. Yeah, you can tell, you know, they're not masters at it. There were some things that they didn't do as well as Pokemon. Some of the encounters were pretty weird and rare, but it was still awesome. I loved it. I'm a sucker for turn-based combat. I always will be. So Nexomon's clones, Pokemon clones, are definitely going to go A for me. That's an easy one. Oh, let's do Time Spinners. Honestly, most Metroidvanias are probably going to land in A for me. There are some crappier ones on the list, but I am a big fan of Metroidvanias, especially the more intense ones like this, or like Hollow Knight, Blasphemous, stuff like that. That's one of my favorite genres. I love the traversal stuff. I don't know, I just love the idea of having to go back, like, oh, I have my double jump now. I remember this spot I couldn't get before. And on top of that, like, nowadays it seems like most Metroidvanias are like Souls inspired, and they like are meant to be incredibly difficult, when I wouldn't consider, you know, OG stuff like Symphony of the Night and stuff like that super hard. I mean, maybe as a kid, but definitely love Time Spinners. Time Spinners was awesome. Let's grab another one that's not gonna, you know, let's grab an S tier here. This is gonna be a weird one for a first S tier. But this is what is it? The Metronomicon Slay the Dance Floor. One of my rarest in my top 5. That's a 3.04%. Honestly, I don't know if that's because I'm not looking at PSNP right now. This is actually the collage. I don't know if that's the Sony percentage or if that's the PSNP percentage. But most rhythm games are going to go in an S tier for me, just because that's like musician outside of this. Guitar Hero is what made me start doing music and stuff, so all rhythm games are absolutely going to be up there for me because of enjoyment, one, but also because the majority of them are on the more rare side. Like Rock Band 4 is also on there, and I'll get to that whenever we find it down here on the list. But yeah, love rhythm games, and then they're also on the more rare side. Good bragging rights, you know, for sure. But Metro Namikondo, that was sick. It was it was on the goofy side. I wasn't a fan of the animation at first, but after you actually start getting into it and you start doing the really hard stuff, it was very fun and very rewarding. It was a bit of a grind getting through that one, but I really enjoyed it. Oh, yeah, Outriders. I enjoyed Outriders quite a bit. I know it didn't do that well, but I was actually a big fan of the story. I loved the, like, everybody having different superpowers kind of thing, but in, like, a sci-fi setting. And also, this was crossplay. So me and Kyle, he's a PC guy, we actually got to go through this together and do quite a bit, which is awesome because that was still, you know, crossplay wasn't super common yet when this happened. So, I did enjoy it, but I'll still go ahead and throw it in B. I mean, it's not something I would go back to, you know. But it was fun. I didn't really understand all the hate that it got. So, Portal 2, another fantastic co-op experience. Did that one with the same guy I did all the Black Ops 1 stuff with. Portal 2, it's fantastic. Just solid, you know, solid puzzle game. It's, you know, Portal series is obviously legendary. But again, for me, like I said earlier, a lot of co-op stuff is already going to give something an edge, just because those are, you know, times you can't replace with your friends. You know, they're pretty awesome. Let's see. Let's get rid of a couple other easy ones. I see some more ratta trash here. Ugh, get out of here. Some of them are funny though, man. I mean, like the pigeon pea or something. I don't even remember the names of them. You're just a pigeon that's pooping. You're just pooping on people. It's not a good game, but it's funny. It's enough to make you laugh while you're doing it, which we're not going to talk about them now. But I got some things to say about the My Name is Mayo Plats, but we'll get there later. Concrete Genie, I mean, it was a good game. Yeah, I'm not talking shit on the game, but that was, I think I got it because it was free for Plus, or maybe the PS5 collection. I don't remember, but I got it. It was free. Kind of a lull game. Not quite the way here, because again, it was fun. It's a high quality game for sure, but nothing too crazy stood out about it for me. Hades, ooh, we're definitely gonna put Hades at an A. Hades was already popular as is. I do love roguelites. I wish I had more of them, more plats for them, but man, just working with the RNG can be rough. But Hades, I mean, even finishing that plat out actually did take kind of a while, just kind of relying on a lot of the randomness of RNG, but it was super sick. I'm definitely excited for the second one. Yeah, that's gonna be sick. All right, let's see. Let's grab this one. Oh God, what is this? Yeah, Castle No Escape. I vaguely remember the name. That's got a 98.3%. Yeah, we'll put that there. I think that wasn't quite as bad as a clicker per se. I think there was a little more involved in it than that, but completely forgettable nonetheless. So we'll go ahead and throw that in a good old E rank here. Oh yeah, let's grab this one, Dante's Inferno. Oh man, so it's funny because a lot of people eventually started hating on God of War, the OG God of Wars, because it's like, oh, Kratos throwing a temper tantrum, blah blah blah, and now they're beloved again. I loved the OG God of Wars so much. Love the hack and slash, love the upgrading, love the storytelling, the totally over the top unnecessary brutality, loved that stuff. So any of the clones, super stoked on that. Dante's Inferno, definitely an A for me. Especially because if I remember correctly, god damn, it's been so long, I think they had like a karma type system with when you found some damned souls, you could either save them for like good type powers or consume them for evil powers. I'm a sucker for a good karma system. Fable is the only thing that makes me jealous of Xbox. So Dante's Inferno, fantastic. Easy A rank for me, for sure. Control is super sick. I loved it a lot. I tried to get Alan to Wake. I don't know, just Control, it was kind of like SCP type stuff, but done with like really high production and a really great team, and it was super spooky and super cool. I remember just being up at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning with my girlfriend being asleep, and I'd be the only one up, and like there's sometimes I'm like, I'm getting a little spooked out, which, but in a good way. It was super awesome. I loved the powers, loved the story, was incredible, loved the acting, everything about that, man. I loved that game. All right, let's here's some more trash. I saw another one. The Bear Bee. That was actually our first short, unfortunately. Oh, there's so many more than I'm happy with seeing. That's got to be close to all of them, right? I hope. This game was Lust, something of Darkness, right? I don't know. It was okay. It was super edgy. It was about some demonic sex cult. It was more of a walking simulator than anything. That again was another lull past the time game. I think I thought it was cool because it was edgy, but it was pretty weak, so we'll go ahead and throw that on a D tier. We Were Here, another fantastic co-op one that I did with the same guy. I did Portal, bam, those with. Just basic and not too long. I think Operation Tango was the same way. So not a lot, but it's still cool. Just that forced communication of like, hey, what do you see on your side? What do you see on my, or what I see on my side? Put this in here, blah blah blah. All that fun stuff. They're really awesome experiences. Nothing too crazy, but I will always remember them. So I'll definitely throw it into a B. Let's grab something else. Fairy Tail. I've never seen the anime. I've always wanted to, but I have a hard time to getting away from the 90s anime that I grew up with and still love. But Fairy Tail was really awesome. I love turn-based combat, traditional OG turn-based combat, not ATB nonsense. So this was really cool to see a modern game get traditional turn-based combat, especially because I know of the anime. I'm aware of the premise. So it was cool getting to rebuild the guild and get visual upgrades. I'm a sucker for visual upgrades. So getting to do that was awesome. Take on jobs and the story. I didn't really want to care too much because it takes place so far into the anime, so I didn't really worry about that. But as a game, as a platinum, really good time. And let's go anime again, actually. Demon Hunter, Demon Hunter, Demon Slayer. This is probably gonna make a lot of people mad. I don't know. I'm not into it. It's I watched some of the anime with one of my exes, and it doesn't seem bad. It seems okay. It's just, again, I'm really stuck on old school 90s stuff like Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Dragon Ball, stuff like that. So the new stuff is just hard for me to get into. I almost actually want to put it at a D, just because this was a LOL game. I think it was on sale for like $15, and I was in the mood for an anime fighter. I just kind of sped through it. Yeah, that's gonna go D. I know, I'm sorry, don't hate me on it. There's nothing wrong with the anime. It's not for me. But it was a solid fighter. I think some of the fights were actually pretty damn challenging, but nothing too crazy. Let's see. Let's do Goosebumps. Yeah, Goosebumps. Forgettable, sure. I think this was actually around when they first did the huge PlayStation catalog for PS Plus, and I was just bored looking for things to play, so I was like, why not? But it was a text adventure. Like, whatever. I did love Goosebumps growing up, but definitely nothing to write home about for a platinum. Lego, this is what, Harry Potter, years 1 through 4. I mean, I'm sure we've all played Lego games, right? They're good breaks. They're good, like, in between game platinums. They don't take a lot. They're very casual, comfortable. It's always neat to unlock all the new characters with the new powers and stuff. The cleanup phase is always fun in Legos, and I do love Harry Potter, so that's it is what it is. Nothing special. Honestly, that could probably go in a C, but I'm not too worried about it. Smite, the god of gods for my trophy list. This game took me, I don't even remember, I used to know the exact number, well over 5 years to get the platinum for it. It is easily my rarest trophy. Let me see, Collage is saying it's at 0.68%. Oh my god, there's just so much went into it. It's a games as a service. You had to master 70 gods, which took a ton of time. Nowadays they do like a ton of like double experience weekends and even triples and quads sometimes. So that took a long time in and of itself, on top of just playing the game, getting so many kills, wins and stuff. But then there were a handful of trophies that really stuck out. There was getting a pentakill, which I mostly played 3s, so getting 5 kills in quick succession was literally not possible in that mode. It's called Joust. That was my main mode that I like to play. So that was just evaded me for years and years and years and years. Eventually, I finally got it on a whim. I was so stoked. And then there were a couple other trophies. I'm not going to get into it because it's a lot about the game. But you had to kill certain objective markers within a certain time mark on the game, and it's like really quick. Like you have to communicate with your team, be like, hey guys, can we kill this fire giant by minute 5 or 10 or whatever it was, and got to wrap that up. And yeah, that's still like I don't know if that's ever not going to be my rarest platinum trophy. So that one, I don't play it anymore, but very happy to have that. All right, let's grab these two. I was real happy about these two. Psychonauts. I loved Psychonauts 1 so freaking much. So when the second one came out, I was super stoked on that. Getting the platinum is a bit of a pain in the ass for the same reason that the first one is. I'm still going to go ahead and throw it on here because big nostalgia, big childhood. But collecting the figments in these games fucking sucks, man. Especially on the old one because it was just a PS2 port. But there was not a real good tracker. I think the best tracker you had was maybe IGN listing every individual figment, and there's tons of these things everywhere, and they were literally two-dimensional, transparent floating things that you had to collect, and there were just some that just took hours of looking for, especially on the second game, on Jack Black's level. Super hippy-dippy, Woodstock kind of vibes, very colorful, and shit just blended in. So, love the games. Slightly annoying platinums, but so incredible to get a modern Psychonauts. I loved the hell out of that. A tiers. These are all going to be easy. These are all Ratchet and Clanks from the collection. I think it's 1, 2, 3, and Deadlocked, I believe. Ratchet and Clank are... that's one of my favorite titles ever, especially on the Sony side. And nobody else does it. It makes me so mad. The way Insomniac handles their upgrade system and their New Game Plus is hands down better than any other dev that has even came close to attempting it. They don't do this in their Spider-Man game. I don't know how they would really, but the fact that you get not in Ratchet and Clank 1. They were still learning, but the fact that you level your guns up from 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, whatever they change in the games, and then you visually change them once they get to 5, and it changes the visual look, it changes the name slightly, and it usually adds some kind of decently drastic ability or way that the gun operates. That's sick as is, and then once you go into New Game Plus, you do it again from 5 to 10, or 10 to 20, again, depending on the game. And it just keeps getting more powerful, and then they, do mod systems and a lot of them. Insomniac is hands down one of my favorite developers of all time. They are so killer. I hope they never stop making Ratchet and Clank games for that reason. While we're on old ones, I thought I just saw Jak and Daxter. Yeah, let's throw Jak and Daxter. That might hurt some feelings too. Jak and Daxter's fantastic as well. Loved them as a kid. They're still great now, but I was definitely more of a Ratchet and Clank person over Jak and Daxter. And plus, I think that's my only Jak and Daxter Platinum, which is the first one. Whereas the Ratchet and Clanks, I have... I'm not going to say all of them, but I have the majority of them that have trophies. I think I might be missing Full Frontal Assault or something like that. Alright, moving on. Let's hit another S rank here. Metal Hellsinger. Honestly, this one's just pure enjoyment of the game. I'm a metalhead, if that's not obvious. And they had a ton of famous musicians doing original vocals on original songs from the composers they got for the game. And it's just super sick. It's all about slaying demons. It's a rhythm game. I mean, not in the sense that, Guitar Hero or any Japanese arcade games are rhythm games. But you're doing everything in time. It's Doom mixed with heavy metal with some of my favorite musicians, like Randy Blythe from Lamb of God was in it, Matt Heffy from Trivium. I think they had Tatiana from Ginger, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, killer experience. Really not that hard of a platinum, though, and it was pretty quick. It was actually very expensive for how fast the platinum was. I did a whole video on it, but it's still great time. Great time. Speaking of music, Burnout Paradise, man, I tried to do this one again on PS4, and it didn't age well. I love the game, I do. But even when I booted it on PS4, loading it up and hearing Paradise City by GNR, I've already got sick of that. I also don't like Guns N' Roses. But still a fantastic game with a lot of positive memories trapped to that. So I'm going to throw that in a B, as much as I do want to put it higher. But we'll leave it there. And see what else we got next. Candleman. That was kind of just another filler plat. Not bad. It was a decent little platformer, but nothing fancy. So throw that in a D here. Oh, found some more of the trash ones. No. Alright, hopefully that's closer to all of them. Let's do Inscription. Inscription's actually doing really well. I think it went free to play on some other service. So that's awesome. I loved Inscription. Again, I love roguelikes. I'm obsessed with horror and all things creepy. So to kind of get all of that in one, and then also a really weird meta story. Yeah, Inscription was super sick. That's probably That's probably one of the few single player games that are gonna go into S. I mean, so was this one, and then rhythm games, but we'll see. I just loved Inscription. It was a really great time. I think he's working on another game, and I'm very excited for that. All right, what else we got? What we got next? See a lot of the Souls games kind of just poking their heads out. I guess we'll go ahead and knock those out real quick. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, not to just have the same opinion as everybody else, but all the Souls titles are gonna go into S rank for me right away. Not because bow down FromSoft and they're gods. Don't get me wrong, I fucking love their games so much, but every single Souls game or Souls-like game that's multiplayer, I get with my buddy Zach that's like our thing. Like every time there's a clone or one comes out, we go hard on it together. We don't play without each other, and we do the entire thing together, getting the platinum together. I think we started doing that on Bloodborne. I think was the first one we did together, because I started on Demon Souls on PS3. I think I beat it, but didn't get the platinum. No way, not when I was that young. But doing that together with him is always going to be some of my favorite gaming experiences. And that's going to be from the actual Souls FromSoft games to stuff like Neo, which will be on the list here somewhere. So those are all going to get S tier immediately, just because, again, like I mentioned with a lot of these co-op experiences, man, just, gaming with buddies, that's what it's about. Especially because I don't get that a lot anymore. Most of what I do now is single-player indie stuff, which is fine. I still love that, but yeah. I saw another one I wanted to grab. What was it? No, I missed it. Let's just do another one here. Evil Inside. Yeah, I'll put that in a filler game. That was just again another lull. It was a horror walking simulator. Wasn't bad. Again, a lot of these D tier ones that are gonna be D tier, they're not bad. They're just filler, and I don't really care much for them if they're even that memorable. Honestly, I don't know if anything's going to go into F tier that's not rata bullshit, so we'll go from there. But not bad, D tier does not mean I'm talking shit. Let's see. Oh, here's another F tier though. Oh, when are they going to end? Let's do Chernobylite. Chernobylite, I think, was the first video I covered on this channel. And I liked it. I had a really great time. I love survival games as well. It was horror. I didn't experience a lot of the horror, but it had some solid base building. Who doesn't love the whole Russian Chernobyl type stuff? That's just an exciting atmosphere to have your game in. It was pretty solid. Let's see, Biomutant. Yeah, I know it kind of flopped, for when we were all well, I don't know how many people were really excited for this, but it just came out so buggy. And normally I don't mind bugs. I don't mind gameplay bugs really almost at all, as long as they're not game breaking. But I did have to do another partial playthrough for this because the collectibles were bugged, and I'm not a patient person. I don't like waiting for patches. And there's a couple on this list where that is going to put them lower, just because it's annoying and it pissed me off. This one wasn't too bad though. I did really enjoy the idea of the game. The actual options to mutate yourself and get all the different abilities. But it was so buggy. I'm gonna put it in a C. I wanted it to be, but be realistic and put it at a C. Yeah, SpongeBob. That's another. I guess I'll put it average, because who doesn't love SpongeBob? I don't. I've never liked SpongeBob. I watched it as a kid. I don't like it. I know plenty of references. Whatever. That's another free plus game. And it was okay. Yeah, getting the platinum. Nothing super special. Let's see. Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima definitely do an A. I don't know if I see the second one here. This is one that I did auto pop. I think my only one, if not one of two. Because the two down here, those were auto pops as well. I was thinking they were regional. I don't think I have a single regional. Bothering me. Sorry. Those were auto pops also, because the purchase came with both. And they were super cool. Actually, no, sorry, I lied. Those weren't auto pops. I might be lying again, but I feel like I remember that you just had to do it again, but the purchase came with both, but it was like a 2-minute plat, so you just did the whole fast forward thing. Still bad though. Ghost of Tsushima though, as a game, oh my god, I still cannot get over how gorgeous it was. And the gameplay was fantastic, but it was kind of your typical Ubisoft open world, just go do everything, which is not unique for a Platinum, but I had an incredible time doing it, so yeah, I loved it. And again, it was so gorgeous, so fucking gorgeous. Let's go ahead and grab, see all the Kingdom Hearts ones, but I don't know which is which based on just the symbol. Let's go MW3. MW3, again, you know, I did this with my buddy, doing all there we go. Doing all the Spec Ops, doing them on Veteran. And even though I haven't been a Call of Duty player in a long time, super stoked for Modern Warfare 3 just because it's getting 16 OG MW2 maps, so very hyped for that. But again, that was just heyday of COD times, and we just put way too much time into that game. But it was fun doing all the trophies co-op, and actually I do like the story. I have been playing the modern Warfares, just mostly for the story. Price's voice actor is so goddamn good. But yeah, so that was good. So definitely a solid A tier for me. All right, that's another basic one. Intruders Hide and Seek. It's not that forgetful per se, but like Evil Inside was definitely a lot scarier. This was just another horror walking sim kind of thing. There were some fail states. You got to make sure you don't get caught by like the breaking and entering people and stuff, but it was still pretty weak. That was definitely another LOL game where I was like, oh, okay, easy plat, whatever. Let's see, I think I saw Donut County here somewhere. Yeah, Donut County, it's wild because this can totally be looked at as like, oh, just a throwaway plat, nothing fancy. But it's funny that like the devs definitely put a lot of work into it, just making it funny as an idea and an execution. And it's a good game. And I think I got on sale like $5 or $10 or something like that. It was solid. You're whole and you swallow up the world, and then you're like, oops, gotta fix this. And it was just really good writing. And there was actually a reference to this game in High on Life, which I don't know if they're friends or what, but that was awesome as well. It's kind of irrelevant, but I just got High on Life's Platinum a few weeks ago, so I thought that was really cool, especially because it's a good game. Let's throw Destiny up here. Destiny, it is a co-op experience, but like, oh man, so many good and bad memories with Destiny 1 and 2. I haven't played Destiny in so long, so I don't even know what it's doing now. I do have 1 and 2. I don't know which this is, but yeah, again, I mean, honestly, I'd probably put it at a C if not for the fact that the majority of my time on that was spent with a lot of good buddies, especially good buddies I don't get to play games with anymore. So yeah, solid B tier. Let's throw Sly back up here. What were those? Yeah, those were B's. Those could probably, no, I like them too much for B's. Paladins. Funny thing about Paladins, this is actually, it's not going into S, but it's made by Hi-Rez, which are the guys that did Smite. And I don't know, it's better than Overwatch, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. The Platinum, I think, was a little bit annoying. I don't remember if I had to work around bugs or it was just something I never went to, but it was okay. It's free to play. I mean, you can't, hard to say no to free to play Platinums. And I do like supporting Hi-Rez just because they have given me many hours of game time, so that's sick. We'll just go ahead and throw it into a C. MBD dog. Strangers of Paradise, kind of a weird one because it also did really bad, right? But I love Team Ninja. You know, they everything Team Ninja does is awesome. So it did kind of turn out really weird. It did kind of look like a shitty PS3 game, but I still loved it. It was still the Souls formula, still tons of loot and like grinding out missions the same way they make you do it in Neo for all the gear. Yeah, it's pretty unique, and I still had a good time. And the idea of the story was a little cheesy, but I still enjoyed it. Overall, it was still a very enjoyable Platinum. I would definitely not give it an A rank for it as a game, as an entity, but for my enjoyment getting the Platinum, which is kind of like the basis of the list, right? Otherwise, yeah, that would definitely get like a C or a B. But I still enjoyed it. All right, let's see. Another. See, this one's gonna be an unfair bias. The Budokai collection. I wish they would re-release this on PS4. That's an easy A for me because Dragon Ball. I mean, that was my favorite as a kid, and it's still tied favorite anime. And the Budokai games were incredible. Budokai 1 was, I think, the second PS2 game I ever got as a kid behind Ratchet and Clank. So Definitely nostalgia factor there and a bias for sure, but I love it, and it was fun getting to play 1 and 3 again. Don't know why they didn't do 2. I know 2 was kind of weird with the board game style story mode, but I still loved it, and I still love Dragon Ball, and I don't really like the modern Dragon Ball games. Kakarot was awesome, but like fighters, I've never been an arcade fighter guy. I like Mortal Kombat, but so not a big fan there, so I was real happy to do that. I would love for them to do that again. Is Dredge right? Yeah. Here, let's do Dredge real quick. Dredge, I literally just got this today. Just wrapped up getting the platinum. It was you know what? I don't know if it deserves an A rank, but I did love it. It also only took me a few days. But it was real good, man. I think I'm gonna put it at a B. Just some of the collecting stuff was a little on the more annoying side, with spawn rates on some of them that I did eventually get, but it was so cool. You know, I love any kind of like upgrade, resource upgrade gameplay loop. Love that stuff. So getting to upgrade your ship and see the noticeable differences, make more money, and then tying in like a horror Cthulhu story into that, it was pretty sick. It was definitely sick. I would put it at an A if there was just like a little more into it, but I do love indie games, and that was that was really good, and happy because I just did it. Yeah, Witchwood. This, I don't remember if I bought this or if it was free, but I actually did not enjoy getting this platinum. It was a hand-drawn game, and it was, again, a lot of resource collecting. The whole game was about crafting and doing quests where people are like, oh, I need these materials. Then you have to go out and make the materials from finding the materials and stuff. And it was fine, but dude, it just slogged on so bad. Like, so bad. By the end of it, I hated this game so much. Actually, yeah, we're going to put it in E because that I disliked it enough to go into that. Let's see. Let's do Potion Permit. Potion Permit was pretty neat. It was, I was very happy because I actually was provided a code for this from the devs to do coverage on it. So that was cool because I'm still a newer channel, so that was exciting to do. And I did enjoy the game. Very heavy on, you know, relationship building, like Stardew Valley type stuff. But it also had some pretty grindy burnout trophies as well, like something like cutting down cajillions of trees and mining rocks and stuff. And the burnout definitely had me not enjoying it at the end. Actually, good game, but I'm gonna put it there for that reason too, because the grind was just atrocious. All right, let's just burn through all the God of Wars real quick as I see them. Actually, here's Destiny. We'll go ahead and put Destiny up there as well. One Destiny 1 and one Destiny 2? I'm not even sure. Hang on. Where's Destiny? Okay, I don't know if they look the same or if I'm just not seeing it. Let's burn through all the God of Wars because they're all gonna go in the same spot because I fucking love God of War. We'll start with the older ones. I don't even see all that. There's one. These are definitely A tiers for me. Yes, there's a lot of nostalgia bias on them. I know, but God, I love them, man. I love them, especially back in the PS2 days. And then obviously everybody loves God of War now, right? No big surprise there. But I love them. They're good platinums too because you just play the game. I think some of them, like one had like a weird speed run trophy, which was pretty stressful. Then usually you had to see. I think some of them you had to beat them on the harder difficulties, and then sometimes the challenge rooms were a lot harder and stuff like that. So nothing crazy in terms of trophies, just overall great experience. Another Sly Cooper one. Throw that back in B. I think that was the actual PS3 title, PS4 title, whatever system that came out on. Let's see what else. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I'll put that on an average. I mean, typical Ubisoft open world game, huge, massive. I don't have the time or patience to get Assassin's Creed Platinums nowadays. I tried with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, and they're fun games. They're just too big, too goddamn big, man. They're gorgeous, but too big. I think I only have a couple of Assassin's Creed Platinums. There's one. Oh, hang on. Here's some more God of Wars. All the PSP titles and the remasters and stuff. Bam. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Let's kind of see the other. Oh, more God of War, man. How many do we got? Oh. There we go. Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed 2 is probably my favorite Assassin's Creed. I just love the Ezio trilogy in general, just his storyline. But getting to experience all the different mechanics they were toying around with as they released new ones, and the homestead upgrading, really love that. Again, sucker for visual upgrades. All right, let's see. Let's do right here, Salt and Sanctuary. That was definitely I almost want to say an S. That was such a good Metroidvania. The second one's good too, and it is co-op, but one, I don't have the platinum for it yet. I don't know. I couldn't stick to it the same way. It was, I think about going back for it sometimes, but actually I think it's still on my system, but it wasn't as good. The first one was just really incredible. Let's see. Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 1 is definitely going to go in an A, which is kind of funny because my last video was about complaining about a lot of trophies like this one, and a lot of JRPG trophies that are very annoying. But Kingdom Hearts is still, to this day, one of my top series. And yes, the trophies pissed me off. That's probably why it's not going to get an S. Final Fantasy X would easily get an S if I ever got that, even though it's got some bullcrap grindy trophies too. But it's still one of my tops, even though it was atrocious. Don't make me play your game so many goddamn times. Let's see. Here's a forgettable one. I kind of remember doing it back on PS3. Jurassic Park, or it was Jurassic the Hunted, I believe. Oh man, I barely remember anything about that. I think I was just checking out games from the library, just trying to get as many platinums as I could back in the day. So yeah, definitely forgettable. Don't remember a single thing about the trophy list, to be completely honest. Let's see. Oh, here's Destiny 2. So okay, so that must be a Destiny 1 auto pop, which I did not realize I had either. So yeah, there we go. There's another auto pop. Still relatively small for the list, right? Pneumo Capsula, however you want to say that. It was a weird. It may as well be a Ratta. Honestly, I'm gonna put it down here for the same reason these guys are down here. It is a quick plat. I think maybe like a 20 or 40 minute plat. It's not bad. It was neat. You're like a little mail carrier train, going through like a full-size world, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids style kind of atmosphere, which I do like, but damn, all you did was change some directions of the tracks. It was still a very easy platinum, but I got that code for free as well. So that was also another exciting thing, but it's not a bad game. It's not much of a game. So that's definitely going to go in an F tier as well. All right, what else we got here? What plate is that? We're going to skip that one. Is that Kingdom Hearts 2? Oh, here. Okay, I've been looking at this one. Dust and Elysian Tale. Oh my god, man. I would love a re-release of this. I want to say it's been so long ago. I got it back in 2014, so 9 years ago. I want to say it's what like re-sparked my love for Metroidvania games, especially because as a kid, I played like Symphony of the Night was probably my introduction for actual Castlevania. And then that game was just, I think it was like the first modern one I'd played around that time, and like ever since then it's just like, oh, when's the next good Metroidvania coming out? When's Silk Song coming out? God damn it, So that was good. I like that. Trophy wise, it's been so long, I honestly don't remember a whole lot. I do remember you had to beat it on either the hardest difficulty or just do a second run through for some reason. I don't remember. But I loved the game so much, I didn't mind. And it's not like Kingdom Hearts where it's a 30,000 hour game. Over exaggeration, but still. So that was good. I like that one. Wolong, again, Wolong is gonna... man, I don't want to put Wolong in S. This falls in the same category as like the Neos and the Souls games, getting them with my buddy. But like Wolong, it just wasn't as good as Neo. And it's supposed to be like a spiritual successor to Neo, same team. I don't know, man. It wasn't near as good as Neo. Neo was so much better with like all the demonic magic, and you still got companion type spirits in this, which was sick. And again, I still had a good time, but Neo's still 10 times better than Wolong. So okay, Wolong's probably the one exception that's gonna go into an A from the ones I play with my buddy. So we'll leave that there. Rhythm Sprout, this is probably the only rhythm game. There might be another Ratta type rhythm game, I'm not sure. That's not gonna get an S because don't get me wrong, it was super fun. Like on the harder difficulty. Well, see, that's the thing. It didn't have difficulties. On the harder song, the songs just got harder, and you were expected to get better. It did get super fun and super rewarding to pull off really sick combos. But this was one that I had to wait an unfortunate amount of time for to get the platinum. And even being active in the Discord, chatting with devs, like, hey, do you guys have an idea for a fix? And don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. I know patches are way easier and faster on PC. That's fine. But it was something like over a month or something. And then when they did release the patch notes, it really wasn't a whole lot to be like, dude, why did that take so long? But I get it. Again, I get it. And I just said this in my last video too. You know, trophies and achievements are not at the front of devs' minds, and I get that. But as a consumer, when I care about it, it's still gonna piss me off. So, see, I'm kind of looking at it as average games, and this one made me mad. So I'm gonna put it in a D. It's a fun game, lots of funny comedy. You know, fun rhythm game if you like it, but it was dumb, and the trophies really pissed me off. And waiting for the patches, so that's what we have on that one. Let's see, No Man's Sky. Believe it or not, this I would put as an S rank on launch before their billions of free expansions and updates and all the crazy content drops they do. I have loved No Man's Sky since the beginning. I don't really care. Like, I don't get upset if like a game doesn't deliver on everything it promised. Like, a lot of people are upset about Starfield right now, and you know, so many people hated on No Man's Sky when it came out. Peter Molyneux getting hate for Fable, stuff like that. That doesn't really bother me as long as I'm still enjoying what is there. That's sick. I took a whole week of PTO from No Man's Sky when it came out, and a couple of buddies of mine just stayed up like 24/7 playing that game as much as we could. And I still loved it. It was awesome. I'm not going to go into the entire thing, but the trophies were pretty much just tied to doing all the challenges and getting it. And I still loved it. Still loved it. So that would have been an S tier. But from what I hear now, and I haven't gone back to it in a long time, it is so it's a different game. You know, same base, but there's just so much you can do. So S tier, I'm sure, would be coming now. But like, I loved it even on the launch. Let's do some more S tiers. Neo, already touched on these. Very similar to Souls type trophy lists. You know, just beating the game, beating it on, I don't know if it's beating it on New Game Plus, but doing stuff in New Game Plus, getting the gear, beating the bosses, stuff like that. Just more challenging co-op fun, which is always great. So definitely put the Neos there. I've actually been considering getting the remasters of those. I don't think they're auto pops either. I just want to play them again. That's how much I loved those. All right, let's do Diablo. Diablo 3, that's definitely going to be an S tier for me, which is kind of funny. A little bit of a funny story about that. So I originally picked up Diablo 3. I borrowed it from a friend, and I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. I don't even remember what I did. I maybe got it to level 20 or 30. I don't know. And I didn't even play it until Reaper of Souls, just being on PlayStation. So I gave it back to the friend. Okay, whatever. Then eventually it was either on sale or I bought it or something, and again, did the same thing. Did the exact same thing. And then one day I just, you know what, I'm actually going to try and get this platinum. And then I eventually did, which is awesome. It's kind of very annoying because, and so embarrassing to say this now, there's a trophy for doing so many bounties or getting bounty caches. I don't remember the number, but I remember while doing the platinum, it felt like one of the grindiest things ever, which is such a joke now because I've put thousands of hours into this game just doing the seasons, and I probably have done hundreds of thousands of bounties. It's probably an over-exaggeration, but it's funny because it's just such a part of it. And I just always loved Diablo 3. And the Platinum was really fun because it makes you do all of the characters. Doing hardcore was kind of scary, but leveling all the characters so you really know what you like and you know what's actually worth playing and what's for you. So that's sick. I liked that. Diablo 4 is kind of the same way, but I don't have that one yet. Ghost of Tsushima. Here's that one. Got that up there. Was this Kingdom Hearts 2 most likely? Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing for Kingdom Hearts 1. It wasn't quite as annoying because there's no speedrun trophy or doing it without changing gear, so that was sick, but you did still have to beat the game again on Proud, and true God, that one was actually hard. 1 was not hard on Proud. The earlier parts were before you got your abilities, but 1 got pretty easy. 2, oh my God, like the Roxas fight. I don't even know how many times I had to try for that, but that was so incredibly annoying. So that would also probably have an S, if not for forcing you to play again on the hardest difficulty or proud mode. Because I'm not doing 100% on a JRPG on proud. It's just not happening. I'm not doing that. It's just a lot of time and a lot of frustration for no reason. All right, what else we got here? My hidden things. I don't know. It was a neat indie design, but it was another LOL game. Honestly, I barely remember it. I think it was literally. No, I'm thinking of Toem. Yeah, I don't even know what my hidden things is. We're gonna put that in in forgettable. I don't remember that at all. Let's see. Dragon Ball Kakarot, that was sick. In terms of a game, I don't know how well it did. It was cool. You know, every anime game is just a retelling of the story, but getting to fly around in the open world and do some side quests and interacting with the characters, really good time. The trophy list was also my favorite type of trophy list. It was just to go do everything. Wasn't any crazy substantial grind. It wasn't anything like defeat this boss that only the top % of players can do or anything. It was just to do everything. Like, hey, enjoy the content that the devs made. So I liked that a lot. Definitely an easy A tier for me there. Let's grab. I thought I saw the forest somewhere. Yeah, let's do the forest. You know what? I'm really proud of getting the forest platinum. I almost want to put it into an S rank. Just because if you've watched some of my other videos, you might know that the horror games are very stressful for me. So I was very proud to get this one. But there was, I don't remember if it was a bug or if it was just the way it was set up, because I think it was old by the time I played it. I honestly don't remember. But there's a trophy for something like cutting down 1,000 or 10,000 trees, but it had to be like in one session, and the game just wouldn't remember it. I don't remember the exact issue. So I think it just became as simple as going into creative mode and chucking a shit ton of dynamites into the forest. But it was still annoying, especially because 10,000, that's not a small number. Okay, even when you're chucking dynamites, it's not a small number. And then to, no matter what, have to start from scratch again, and it was an indie game, so it would crash. It's not like you just leave your stuff up all the time and be fine. So that was kind of a pain in the butt, and I think also surviving so many days. I think I remember just having to leave it up or something like that. Great game. Trophies, a little on the annoying side, and then also just dealing with horror stress. All right, let's see what else we got here. Doom. I'm gonna throw Doom in average. It's kind of funny because Hellsinger was an S for me. Don't get me wrong. McGordon is a great composer, and the Doom soundtrack is always killer. Not much of a Jint guy, but it's awesome metal. You're going around slaying demons, but most arcade shooters I'm just not super into. Like the old faster paced stuff like Quake, it's just never been my thing. The only reason Hellsinger was because it was literally to some of my favorite musicians. So that was super sick. And honestly, I think I did a video on it, but I think the composer names were Two Feathers or something, and they were just really sick songs, like to just listen to in your car while you're working out, doing whatever. Whereas Doom, that's just, aggressive Jint, which is still cool. That's totally just an average platinum. I don't think it was anything crazy. Collectibles, beat the game, chapter, specific trophies, stuff like that. Adventure Time, I'll throw it in a C instead of a D. I'm not a huge Adventure Time fan. It's not bad. It's a generation after me, so I saw like my niece watching this. I actually used to hate it because it wasn't the cartoons I grew up with. But then actually when I saw her watch it and saw some kind of like inappropriate jokes and some like kind of brutal stuff, I was like, oh, that's tricky. That's not entirely kid friendly. And I was like, okay, so that's pretty neat. But the game was fun. It was traditional turn-based combat RPG. Not high quality or anything by any means, but it was fun enough. And it may have been free. I think it was free for Plus, or at least in the collection. I think. I'm not sure, honestly. I think this was Road Bustle, some bullshit rata. Cat Quest was fantastic. They're both super fun. Top-down isometric RPGs, super vibrant and colorful. It's so funny there too because like I am super obsessed with like horror and metal and dark and spooky things, but like when it comes to games, I'm a sucker or like a vibrant, adventurous tone. Like, I love the Uncharted's, the Cat Quest stuff. There's this weird like Cloud Chaser game that was mega vibrant. I don't know. It's something about like a vibrant color palette, especially like greens and blues for like forest and sky. It just gives such an adventurous tone. I'm like, yes, let's go on an adventure. So I love that stuff. Cat Quest was really sick. The combat was fun. Again, I think the platinums were just kind of like collect everything. So pretty straight through the road. But I loved the games a lot. It was fun, and they're not too time consuming either. Those were pretty fun. Let's see. I think this was a Burlyman at Sea or something. I think I remember it being a good indie game. I think it was mostly narrative heavy. And I think it was also free, but honestly, I don't remember much about it. So unfortunately, it's gonna get an E. Here's another basically ratta. I think he literally just ran around and collected stars. I think honestly, I know that's just what's on the picture, but like I think that's literally what it is. Yeah, there's no way. Oh, Minoria. Okay, no, Minorio's sick. Okay. That was a Metroidvania. It was a smaller one, so I'm going to throw it in B instead of A. The typical Metroidvania, uncover map, bosses. One of these Metroidvanias, it may have been Minoria, had a trophy where you had to beat a boss without taking a single hit. And I know Blasphemous has some crazy stuff like that. But it was just, that's tricky in the back of your mind, even if it's not that hard, because you're like, oh, if I beat all the bosses without doing that, start over, do another save or something like that. I don't even remember if it was Minoria, but solid RPG. Or, sorry, Metroidvania RPG. Alright, let's get these out of the way, just because I do want to say stuff about them. My name is Mayo Games. I am not going to put them in the rattas, because yes, they are technically earnable like a ratta is. I'm actually going to put these in B tier. I would put them in A tier, but I will accept the fact that the platinum is worthless. But from a game development standpoint, these were made to make quick money and take advantage of people like us that want platinum trophies. And I get it, that's shitty, okay? But My Name is Mayo is not quite like that, especially if you actually read all of the sections. It's hilarious. That sounds like some Tim and Eric nonsense, right? Like some Adult Swim bullshit, where it's a jar of mayo going through midlife crises and going through puberty and love lives and affairs and all sorts of real world issues, but it's a jar of mayo. Like, the writing in that game is hilarious and actually written by like a room of, well, maybe one dude, I don't know, but my mind goes to like the South Park writing room of just people saying the dumbest shit ever and putting it into a game. And that is hilarious. Yes, getting it as a platinum is not impressive by any means, but like, I don't think it belongs in the category of rattas, because it was, again, actually done by devs that care. And they were fun, and I'm not going to spoil it, but the end of My Name is Mayo 3 is actually very sad. Very, very sad, especially if you have a good or maybe a bad relationship with your dad, too. Well, that's where I'll leave it. I don't know if anybody cares about mayonnaise spoilers. But, like, again, the writing is actually there. There is writing, unlike this nonsense, right? So, My Name is Mayo is controversial, I know, but they're going into A for me. B. I would put them into A. Okay, 3. Okay, here's 3. 3 is this one. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. Bam, 3. My Name is Mayo 3. Alright, moving on. Spyro 2. Spyro 2 is going to get an A. That's a nostalgic bias for the same reason. Well, no, okay, well, here, we'll throw it in with the Sly Coopers. That's the only Spyro I got. Yeah, I played 1, 2, and 3 as a kid, but Ripto's Rage is where I spent most of my time as a kid. So that's the only platinum I bothered getting on the collection. I think my buddy got all 3 of them, but that was the biggest one for me, so. Subnautica, I'm definitely going to go, we're throwing Subnautica up at an S tier for me. That's probably going to be the only S tier survival game, maybe one more. Ooh, man, 1 is just incredible, right? Everybody already recognizes Subnautica and like respects it, and that's fine, that's cool, it's a good quality game. But holy crap, not a lot of games have made me feel the way that game makes me feel. I don't even know if I have that phobia of like the irrational fear of like deep sea and stuff. But it's freaky when you're confronted by the massive shadows in the water, and that's what I like about survival games too. In general, is it's always like a push of like confidence to get out of your comfort zone into further parts away from your base and away from, it's safe, which is always awesome. I think I just experienced that to the greatest degree with Subnautica and all the Leviathans and stuff like that. Subnautica was just so good. I would have Below Zero's plat, but I think it doesn't have autosave, or didn't have autosave or something, and I lost like hours of progress, so I said, nope, never mind, I'm done. But Subnautica is super killer, super killer. Also, my bad, I called this Modern Warfare 2. That's Modern Warfare 3. All the same stuff applies for it because I was still playing with my buddy at that time. Here's Modern Warfare 2, which is going to go right by it at another A tier. Cult of the Lamb. I enjoyed Cult of the Lamb a lot. Honestly, I'd probably give it an S tier, if not for, again, waiting on devs to patch things up, make things not require multiple playthroughs, which I know is not fair on devs. Again, I'm not talking shit on any of the indie devs. Like, they have small teams, they don't have a ton of money. I get it. It's not gonna make me not recommend the game to somebody, right? I actually praised Cult of the Lamb quite a bit in my video for them, but it did suck in terms of getting the platinum because I think I had to wait a couple weeks on that one. But super incredible roguelite. Yeah, ish. Like, it is a roguelite, but it's not damn near as hard to get the platinum as something like Binding of Isaac or anything like that. So, fantastic game, though. Good experience getting the plat, minus waiting for the patches. I see a ton of the Resident Evils in here, but I always forget the exact, let's see the title of the game. Always forget exactly which is which, so give me just a second. Give me a second. Okay, let's see. Alright, so here's a Resident Evil 5. I did do this one twice. This was not an auto pop. This was just getting it on PS3 and getting it on PS4 years later. I think I got it originally in 2011, and then I did it again in 2020. Great co-op experience. Yeah, Resident Evil 5 sucks in terms of a Resident Evil and a story for sure. Not gonna argue you there. The Chris Boulder punch will forever be legendary. But I did do that with same buddy that I did a lot of this co-op stuff with, which not that it matters, but there's my OG kid buddy that we grew up as kids together, and we played a lot of the co-op stuff together. And then there's my other buddy Zach that we actively do all the Souls games together. The other guy, he mostly just plays like Steam stuff here and there now. Where Zach and I, we still touch every Souls game that comes out together. So there it is, Resident Evil 6. This game, in terms of trophy hunting, was worse than 5. That was just really annoying having to... Like, they made all the stories so long. So long. And I don't know why. I was actually excited because I was like, oh, there's so many different campaigns. Hopefully they're going to be short since there's a bunch. No, that is not at all how it was. I feel like all of them were super long. And then even after having to redo them and get your S ranks on professional and all that fun stuff you always have to do in the Resident Evil games, like, you had to do a bunch of extra grinding. Which I guess could have been on anything, but I remember the most efficient method was to pick Jake, certain mission, and you run down this alley, punch in some boxes, and rinse and repeat. It was nonsense. I hated it. It was still neat to see all the stories, though. I will say that, as much as Resident Evil 5 and 6 are not recognized as good games. Oh, there it is. Get it there. There we go. All right, let's keep going in order for the Resident Evil games. Where's 7 at? 7, boom. 7 was fantastic. Stressful as hell. So stressful. You know what? I almost want to put it in an S because I don't have any horror games up at S. This, I might change my mind and this might go back to an S tier. Because it was super stressful. Like, I don't like having to do multiple playthroughs and speedruns, and this makes you do both. But like, it was so rewarding. Like when I finally got it, I was like, thank God I can be done with this, but not in a way that like oh, I'm so tired of this, in a way that's like, oh, like, I'm sick of getting freaked out and being stressed out by, being killed in one hit or two, or not having healing supplies or whatever it may be. Resident Evil 7 was still phenomenal. Yeah, I don't have, I have Resident Evil 8 as well, but I don't have the older ones because they're so fucking stressful. They're just so stressful. Alright, where is Village? That should be a coin. Come on, Resident Evil Village. There we go. We'll also go ahead and throw throw a village up here in an A. It didn't give me the same feeling as 7 did, but it was a lot more exciting with all the different gun options and unlimited ammo options and stuff like that. And plus, you were in a lot more zones than just the house property, right, from 7. In terms of trophies, it's pretty much the same. Collectibles, doing certain playthroughs and stuff. But there was the, what is it called, Mercenaries mode, which I do not like stuff like that. I'm not good at it. And I literally, I think I waited until the DLC came out, where you could play as the other characters, to get the mercenary scores on that. I don't even care, man. That's just... I even tried to have Kyle do it, but he's used to PC, so switching over to controller, not a good time. Not a good time. But still love the game. Great platinum to get. Alright, let's do a couple other ones here. What was this? Unravel, right? Unravel was, I don't know, technically it was like a filler game for me. I actually really loved it. It was super gorgeous. I loved the soundtrack. But I mean, I don't know, platinum wise, just play the game, get the collectibles, some chapter specific, and it was filler, so I'd probably rank it higher, but it was between games for me. Let's see, Castlevania. This was Lords of Shadow when they had the PS3 games. Yeah, it's a Castlevania, but it's not like a Castlevania, you know. Even Metroidvania wise, there's only like a smaller amount of stuff to go back for. I think maybe every mission, but I remember being pretty burnt out on that one by the end of it, so we're just gonna throw that one in a C. Nothing too crazy there. And also, I actually just realized I was thinking this was Salt and Sanctuary. This was Bloodborne. That's my bad. That's Bloodborne right there. Salt and Sanctuary is actually right here. So everything about Salt and Sanctuary stays the same, but then Bloodborne after that. Yep, my bad. But Bloodborne, yeah, just another Souls game. Let's see. Let's do another S tier. Hollow Knight, absolutely for sure is an S tier. I don't think anybody would debate that, right, in terms of modern Metroidvanias. I will say though, I don't even. Oh, it was so frustrating. So I probably almost broke my controller probably at least 10 times when I was doing the boss pantheons on Hollow Knight, and the amount of frustration that I had after I learned that there was an invincibility glitch that you could use. I don't even care. Like, yeah, sure, cool. It's cool to accomplish the challenge without it, but I would have much rather used the invincibility glitch, because that was some of the most infuriating anything I've ever done for any game. So yeah, it's cool. Am I proud of myself? Yeah, sure, I guess, but I'm really upset that I had to try that many times and get that level of frustration doing those pantheons. But still an S tier game though. Still typical Metroidvania trophies, you know, doing the map, doing all the extra optional stuff, bosses, collectibles, things like that. But then the pantheon, oh god, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. But top tier game. When is Silksong coming out? Give it to us. Let's see. Let's do another one here. Bugsnax was pretty fun. It was I'm gonna put it in C, or you know, just kind of like average stuff. But it was fun. It was weird. It was very, very weird. But it was kind of fun. I enjoyed getting the platinum. Again, it was kind of like vibrant and adventurous, and it was free, so that's helpful as well. Nothing too much on that one. Let's see. Chasm. Chasm was really great. It was a solid Metroidvania, but I'm not remembering a whole lot about it, so I think I'm gonna put it in B. But it was good. Typical Metroidvania, really great pixel art that I enjoyed. I think you did have to play it again on the hardest difficulty, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But that one's fun. Again, just like Hollow Knight or any of the other ones. Typical Metroidvania style trophy list. Borderlands 3. Yeah, I did this one with Zach as well, which was really fun, but it's still not as rewarding or enjoyable as, you know, Souls games, but it was still good, and I'll always have a soft spot for Borderlands because of Borderlands 1 being the reason that I got into platinum trophy hunting in general. On that note, yeah, here's this was the Tiny Tina's standalone DLC, which was not as good. I mean, it was DLC for what, Borderlands 2, I think. Hopefully, it was okay. I mean, I still had a good time, but I don't remember the exact trophy, but you had to kill a certain rare enemy, and the spawn rates, man, just looking at the forums on PSNP, like, some people were like, oh yeah, I got it within the first couple hours of the game. Some people were like, I've loaded this checkpoint 17,000 billion million trillion times and still don't have it. And yeah, I experienced the horrendous nature of that. Where's Tiny Tina's though? There, Tiny Tina's. I loved Tiny Tina's. I almost want to give it an S tier just because of the build diversity and doing the hybrid builds. I fucking loved that so much. I actually played this with one of my other buddies that we do play Souls games with, but not Zach, and not as religiously. I'll go ahead and give it an A tier. I enjoyed it so much. I love the fantasy setting. I'll always be a sucker for Borderlands, juvenile humor, fart jokes, stuff like that. Always a good time. And also the male voice actor was Chris Sabat, Vegeta, Piccolo. And it's cool because you could adjust the pitch slider, so if you adjusted it down a notch or two, it actually just literally sounded like Piccolo the whole time. So that was just really neat to get story dialogue with Piccolo's voice. So that was a good time. I liked that. Pretty much just complete everything. A little bit of a level grind, or no, money grind near the end, I believe. But outside of that, do everything, do all the side quests. Then they had like some dungeon-esque things that were pretty fun. But if you're maxing out your builds the right way, it's super easy. Just breeze through them. But fun experience overall. Breathe Edge is actually going to go up into an S tier as well, kind of for the same notes as Subnautica. Similarly, it didn't give me the same fear that Subnautica did. I guess that's probably dependent, though. You know, some people, I think, also have a phobia of deep space and the expanse of it and whatnot. But there's also, at least in that game, no lurking Leviathan creatures. Or big shadows that are way bigger than you. And Breathe Edge was also set up as a comedy, but it definitely gave off Subnautica and space vibes, which was really sick. I think there was a weird bugged trophy that I had to like replay up to a certain point for. I don't remember exactly what. I think destroying some turrets bugged out on me or something like that. So that was a little annoying, but overall, God, I love games like that. They're so fun. And they just play so well. And it's the same thing I said for Subnautica, that confidence you have to build up to get further and further and further away from your base for newer and better resources. It's such a satisfying gameplay loop. And again, it was really funny. I think they're doing a second one that I'm super stoked for. Maybe it's a standalone expansion or something like that, but super stoked for that. All right, let's see what else we got. High on Life. This is one of my more recent ones. I know it didn't do very well in terms of its launch, but it also launched way earlier on PC and Microsoft. But I loved it. I mean, there's a bunch of drama with Justin Roiland right now, and I don't really know what it is. But the comedy, you know what Rick and Morty is, right? So the comedy's there. It's cool hearing all the voices. And it had some Metroidvania elements in it. Not enough for me to consider it a Metroidvania, but I did still enjoy it. I was getting a little burnt out near the end of it. But it was still fun. I was glad it came to PlayStation. I wish it wasn't a full price game, or that I bought it digitally. I don't think it got a physical copy, or if it did, I didn't see one. But yeah, it was alright. Trophies were pretty straightforward. Some of the challenges were just annoying to clean up. And then, collectibles. Alright, let's see. Let us see here. What was this? I just saw this somewhere. Here, let's do Superland. Superland was it was really unique. It was I don't really want to give it an A. It's a Metroidvania, like just straight shot, but it's 3D. And you play as like these little guys in a sandbox, basically. We're in a backyard, and I'm always a sucker for that, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids style format, like I said earlier. It's really cool. You get a ton of different abilities. It was, I don't know, sometimes too open and too, just felt like they were pushing in too much content just because. So I'll just give it a B, but it was still really fun time. Lots of crazy jumping puzzles and lots of puzzles in general. Lots of cool environmental stuff. It was a good time. I liked it. A lot of collectibles. Let's grab Terraria. Terraria, man, Terraria is definitely an easy S tier for me. That game was so incredible. There's a lot of nostalgia attached to that too. My buddy and I, Minecraft back in the day, we saw Nanners play that. If any of you guys know who that is, and he maybe what helped get it big, I don't know. But when we got that, we actually had to pay in pounds or euros, whatever the currency transition was for where Notch was from, to get the beta of it. And then we shortly after did the same thing with Terraria, and it was just, in my opinion, so much better. I prefer Terraria, just from the items like the Cloud in a Bottle to get it like for double jumps and glides, and combining all the items to get different effects, and getting wings, and all the bosses having mechanics. There's just so many awesome things about Terraria, and the Platinum is no joke either. I mean, you got to do a lot of stuff for that. I had to come back years later to actually get that. I think I got it in 2022. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that I had to come back for, but I really love Terraria. That's one of my more rare ones too. I think it's at a 2.32% on this collage, so I love Terraria. Definitely an easy S rank for me. Let's see what else we got. I gotta keep looking for stuff. Looking for stuff. That one's Toem. Let's grab Toem real quick because that was an easy basic one. Toem, yeah, this was a free plus game. I'll put it in C just because I'll give them props for the unique nature of it. You had to run around taking pictures of stuff in a neat worlds. Definitely nothing hard or anything challenging, but I'm a sucker for indie games, so I put it in a C. Why not? It was definitely a filler game for sure. All right, let's see. Yeah, let's put Theater Rhythm in. I've been seeing that one. Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm. Dude, I loved the first Theater Rhythm, which was only on 3DS. So transitioning to a controller, and it had been so many years anyways, definitely took some getting used to for sure, but oh my god, I love that game. I mean, rhythm game already. Then Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy X is my top game of all time, tied with Legend of Dragoon. So getting to do the Final Fantasy type stuff, but with rhythm, absolutely love it. And again, like I mentioned earlier, the rhythm games are usually decent bragging rights. Yeah, it's I think its rarity isn't that impressive. Yeah, it's 33%, so it's actually not rare. But I think, and I don't actually know this, but I think if we looked at the percentage, if you can even do that, of people that bought it compared to like the total sales, like I think that's a game that if you're going to buy that, you're going to 100% it, right? Because it's so niche and so specific to Final Fantasy rhythm fans that your average Final Fantasy fan probably isn't going to buy it. So the percentage isn't that incredible, but like the trophy list, pretty damn challenging. But I think most people buying that know that going in, as opposed to something like Rock Band, where it's just, it's a party game that everybody plays. Speaking of, I have not put Rock Band in there yet. Let's grab that. Bam! Rock Band 4. Yeah, same thing. That one actually took a long time because there's some stupid trophy about like hitting a certain percentage of all the solos, which is like, and not to brag too much, but I am like really good at Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Like I used to have top 1 scores and stuff. Not anymore. I don't keep up with it because you have to use like star power at the right time and stuff, as opposed to just hitting all the notes. But it's easy stuff. But then like it didn't track anything, so I had to make a list myself, and then I'd get burnt out, play something else. Then I'd like upgraded from a PS4 to a PS4 Pro, and then I went from my PS4 Pro to the God of War PS4 Pro, and then I went to the PS5. So it took me a long time to finally get it. But again, bragging rights for a lot of stuff you got to do, because you also got to be good at the drums. You got to do vocal stuff, bass and guitar, obviously very similar on a plastic instrument. Yeah, that one is also one of my rarest. I think that's actually my second rarest at let me see, yeah, 1.21%. I would have a lot of the old ones, but unfortunately they're not easy to get on PS4. Yeah, because the backwards compatibility and stuff. Or there's stuff like Beatles, Rock Band, and things like that. So, but yeah, love Rock Band. Let's see what else we got. Rhythm of the Gods. This was, even though it's a rhythm game, it was a rata. That's going down. I don't even remember much of what you had to do, but I think it was very, very cheap, very easy. Nothing fancy. Let's do the South Parks. South Park Fractured But Whole. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, Borderlands. I love inappropriate vulgar humor. South Park writing is no different. If anything, it's god tier for that, right? But it's cool because if you guys hadn't played them, they're basically just 8-hour long episodes, and then just actually completing everything, doing all the side quests. It's just experiencing South Park the best way possible, I think. And then Stick of Truth, I actually like this one a lot more because it was traditional turn-based combat with interactive turn-based mechanics, which is sick. Very akin to Legend of Dragoon back with additions back in the day. Two, Fractured But Whole, they went more to a tactics RPG style, which it was also good. I mean, it's still turn-based, but it's not your traditional turn-based. You had your grids to move around on, but still, it's a very similar aspect. You're playing through the game, getting all the gear, leveling, optional bosses. Morgan Freeman, I believe, was the optional boss in the second one, which I think I remember actually being really fucking challenging. But yeah, love those games. Incredible games. Stray, I mean, yeah, it was solid. I mean, I know it kind of broke the internet because they're like, oh, you play as a cat, and yeah, cats are awesome. I'm more of a dog guy, as a, you know, sometimes my dogs are in the background. But cats are cool too, but I mean, it was still a pretty basic game of platforming, and it was a dystopian world, so it was good. You know, I'll put it in a B. Beat the game, collectibles, and I think it did have a speed run, but the speed run you could do in like sub 2 hours, if not even way shorter. Honestly, I don't remember. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. You know what? Honestly, we're gonna put that in an S. Do we want to put it in an S? You know, we'll reserve S. We'll go and put this with the rest of the Ratchet and Clanks. Again, same thing I mentioned with the older ones. It's just, you know, newer, better, bigger. You know, and honestly, actually, that one's kind of short, but still, it was still incredible. With all the same mechanics of New Game Plus and everything else that I like. The weapons, man, the weapons. I can't get over them. They're so good. Shadow Colossus, big surprise here. This is actually going in an S for me. A lot of nostalgia built into that, but also there's literally no other game like Shadow Colossus, right? Or if there are things that take inspiration from that nowadays, Shadow Colossus was the OG weird as fuck game, right? Where like the story was just not there, but not in like an absent way, in just a vague way, and climbing all the colossi and like figuring out different tactics. So incredible. So getting to replay that was awesome. Platinum kind of sucked. Having to I don't remember the numbers on it, but to max out your stamina and your health, you could either collect lizards and fruit from the world, but there's only so many, so you'd have to like redo it, or you got a little bit from beating a colossus, so you would have to just do the first one. Or I think, yeah, the first one's what I did. I don't know if that was the fastest way, just over and over and over and over. I think it was 100 and something times, if not 200 and something times. So that kind of sucked, but that's still such an incredible game. So that's still going to get an S for me. Hogwarts. Yeah, I know there's a lot of controversy on that. I don't give a fuck about that. Hogwarts, yes, I'm not even that much of a Harry Potter nerd. I do like it, but the kind of what I mentioned earlier about like vibrant, adventurous kind of stuff, it's just such a whimsical world of magic. Even though I absolutely went evil, just Avada Kedavra everybody possible. It was just so fucking gorgeous. The freedom to, you know, hop on your broom wherever and just get up and go, exploring the castle, being overwhelmed by exploring the castle and trying to maneuver and figure out where things are. God, that game was so incredible. Solid story too. Nothing really stands out about that, but just being in that world, you know, that was just really awesome. Like so many open world games are just so rinse and repeat nowadays. That was incredible. Some of the collectibles were on the tricky side, and there were a lot of them, but still really incredible. Yeah, let's grab Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. This is going to be another one very similar to Final Fantasy Theatrhythm, but it was Kingdom Hearts specific, and the actual mechanics and system were totally different. I think it was done by the same team though, because the menus and the challenges and stuff looked identical, and I think even had the same numbers. But same thing though. I just love Kingdom Hearts, love rhythm games. There was a really stupid grind on that one. It was something like kill 10,000 enemies or 100,000 enemies or something, and even doing the hardest song on the hardest difficulty with the most amount of enemies, I still had to do that tons and tons and tons and tons and times in a row. I had to come back to that a few times. And it kind of same thing with Final Fantasy Theatrhythm. Its percentage is 21.75. That's pretty high. You don't see that and you think anything special, but like that's you could get those enemy kills by doing other songs on easy difficulties, but you would increase your playtime by many hours. So doing that on the hardest difficulty, again, it's still pretty impressive, but I just think that's a game that if you buy that kind of game, you're going to 100% it. I could be wrong. I don't know. That's just kind of the way it comes off to me. Let's see. Let's grab Maneater. Maneater I liked a lot. I would almost put that. Actually, fuck it. I'm gonna put that in an S tier. Maneater was such a pleasant surprise. Like, I was already excited for it just because, like, oh yeah, you're playing a shark and you get to go be destructive and do shark shit. Cool. There was an old school, I think, was it Jaws? I don't remember, but an old school game on PS2 that was kind of similar, where you had the freedom to go around these parts of the ocean and even get in the deep water, which can be freaky too, even when you're the shark. But it was so simple. One, it wasn't a full price game. I don't remember how much it was, but that was cool. And two, it was voiced by what's his face? I don't even remember his name. He plays the dad in Rick and Morty. Super famous dude. I can't think of the name, but Kyle, can you throw a picture of him up on screen, please? But so that was awesome. The narration was it was well written for comical purposes. And it wasn't long. It's a pretty short plat, not like short, but like very, very doable. No crazy time commitment. And again, visual upgrades. Sucker for visual upgrades. You literally, as you level up, your shark gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was just so good. I loved it. Did I get the platinum on that again? Did I double dip on that one? I thought I did. Did I not get it on PS4 again? Or sorry, PS5. Oh, I did. Okay. It wasn't an auto pop, but I did go back and grab that again. I don't remember if it was a free upgrade or paid either. I love that game. Very good. Let's do Rage. Rage is kind of an interesting one. I'm going to throw that at A tier because I remember back when this was new, like, it got a lot of heat. Like, a lot of people thought that it wasn't, it was underwhelming because, like, it didn't have a good last boss fight or something. And if I remember correctly, now given this was a long time ago, I got this in 2012, I don't think there was a last boss fight. I think it was kind of just like wave survival while you're trying to like blow some shit up or something. I don't remember. But yeah, don't get me wrong, that is underwhelming. Like, you should have a good last boss fight, but I still enjoyed the game. Like, I still had a good time. I loved the whole like post-apocalyptic wasteland, like Mad Maxy type feel. Those cool like boomerang knife things that you would throw and decapitate people were really fun. I don't remember much about the trophies, honestly. It's been a long time, but I remembered enjoying it, and it's weirdly one of my more rare platinums too, at a 3.81%. Now, I don't know why, because like there's the Call of Duty logic that, those are some of my most rare ones, but that's because so many people buy them, right? And your average Call of Duty player doesn't care about trophies. So those get kind of skewed percentages. Maybe the same thing happened with Rage. I'm not sure. Or maybe people just didn't like it enough to platinum it. I don't know. But I really liked it. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Rage 2 was fun too. I don't remember why. I couldn't stay with it long enough to get the platinum. But I did like it though. Yeah, Pumpkin Jack. Dude, I don't know what it was. I want to put this in an F, dude. I won't, but like, I don't know, man. It reminded me of medieval Jack and Daxter type stuff, and I think they even like marketed it that way. That it was like old school platformer, a little bit of combat, but like, dude, it was just like, I loved the idea, loved the art. I think I skipped through all the dialogue because I just didn't care. So not trashing on the developer, but I just getting that platinum was not hard. It was just did not want to. I don't even know why I eventually pushed through it. Yeah, it's got a 56.21%, so it's super easy. Just collectibles and do the game and stuff. But I just did not at all enjoy getting that platinum. At all. I don't know why. Oh, this is the Ratchet and Clank like remake, which I do think deserves an S tier, but I'm trying to reserve S tier for like, well, I don't know. If I put the Maneater type stuff, like, that's not, okay, we're gonna put the Ratchet and Clank remake because I think they did such a good job like, retelling the story in like a different way, and plus the original Ratchet and Clank 1, even though that's probably the most nostalgia for me, I think that was my first PS2 game. I think it still, this got the modern updates with like the leveling weapons and New Game Plus and stuff, so that was pretty damn incredible. So yeah, we're definitely gonna put that in the S tier. All right, what else we got? That BioShock right there, right? That's got to be BioShock. Beast Quest. Yeah, BioShock. BioShock, I enjoyed. I think that could almost be an S tier, but I didn't get the platinum on PS3. Yeah, I love Bioshock. I love the idea of Bioshock. I would love to have the platinum for 2, but the fact that you have to do, I think this is what I remember. You have to do a playthrough where you save all the little sisters and where you harvest all the little sisters. It's just another forced playthrough thing. And plus, when you save them, you have to do like a wave survival kind of thing. It's just not for me. But it is cool playing as a Big Daddy. And I know the multiplayer was tacked on and people didn't really like it when it was new. I actually really liked that. And getting your own apartment and like combining some of the plasmids, like putting down the cyclone mine, but then also electrifying it. I loved that stuff. So I really wish that they put the multiplayer on the remake or the remaster, but they didn't. One was, it was challenging though. I think you had to do it on either the hardest difficulty or do it without using the save tubes or something like that. It's been so long, I don't remember, but Bioshock is of course a great title. Everybody loves. Let's see if I can get some of these basic ones right here. Where's a Plague Tale? Plague Tale, yeah, it was okay. I'm just gonna throw it in average. I don't remember if I think it was free. Solid story, very narrative driven, puzzle stealth type stuff. Bubonic Plague era. It was neat, but nothing really special sticks out about that one for me. I still haven't played the second one. Oh yeah, I meant to grab this one forever ago when we were doing God of Wars. Alice Madness Returns. This was another God of War clone. Kind of like in vein with Dante's Inferno. Not story-wise, it's Alice in Wonderland. Just super dark and edgy. It was fun, but again, it was the same type of level design, same type of like upgrading systems and hack and slash stuff. I really enjoyed that quite a bit. Astro's Playroom. This is going to be a weird one. I know. I'm going to put this in an S tier because again, this is more so about overall experience of getting the platinum more than anything else. But that was just, it was such just an appreciation of Sony history. I mean, it was mostly just like a demo to show off what the PS5 can do. And there was some really cool stuff in there, like feeling the different vibrations on rain patterns and stuff like that. And that was cool, but like really, it was more about getting the collectibles and then going to the museum and looking at all the descriptions. Like you got the PS1 and the PS2 and the PS3 and the controllers and the memory cards and everything. It was just such a walk down memory lane. And of course, it was hype on having a brand new console. And it was free, right? I hope I'm remembering that correctly. So that was awesome. That was definitely a good time. Let's see. This is Little Nightmares 2, right? Little Nightmares 2 was real good for me. I would normally classify it into like a filler game, like just platformer, but again, it's super dark and edgy. Man, their antagonist designs, I don't even know what you want to call them, are fucking creepy. They do a really good job with that. But trophies are pretty straightforward. Collectibles, beating it, maybe some chapter specific trophies. Nothing crazy there, but I really enjoyed that. Arcade Paradise, here we go. Bam. This was definitely an S rank for me. It was just a simulator game, which normally I don't go that hard on simulator games. I actually did a whole video on it. And it was just so nostalgic and so real life for being, like a 90s baby and probably 80s too. But that was so good. I enjoyed every minute of it. It was kind of long, I think. Yeah, definitely had to wait for some patches for that one as well, but easily worth it and kind of challenging depending on the games you had to play. You gotta like master a lot of those games to get that, and I really kind of just invest a decent amount of time. Not a huge grind, but a good amount of time. Awesome soundtrack, awesome aesthetic, just overall fantastic. Definitely an easy S rank for me. All right, let's see what else we've got. Oh, Bloodstained. Oh man, see, here's another one. I'm trying to avoid putting too many like S's in a row. But Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I mean, that was, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, the same director that did Symphony of the Night, right? But then like broke off since it's not actually Castlevania, but it's absolutely Castlevania. Like it was so incredible. I can't say enough good things about that. I don't know. It'd be so hard to compare it to Castlevania, Hollow Knight, because Hollow Knight I feel like is the definition of modern Metroidvania, but this is literally like a modern adaptation of Symphony of the Night. Not really, because you could look at that as like a remake. It's not, but it's like that level. So incredible and challenging too. Very challenging. Yeah, it is just a Modern Warfare remake. I guess I'll put it on a, not even, I'm gonna put it on a C, average. Don't get me wrong, I love the story, like I mentioned earlier, but it's, I don't even remember anything about the Platinum. A really fantastic campaign to play through, but very average. I think it was just collectibles and do the campaign on veteran, like usual. Nothing else there. Where's Conan Exiles? Conan Exiles, it was a survival game, but to be completely honest, I think I just used the dev codes to just spawn the right things in. I didn't care for it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be done with this now. Thank you. Dark Cloud, oh, that's gonna go S. That's classic Golden Era PS2 JRPGs for me with the town building. Oh, so good. I actually didn't get the platinum on this one when I first bought it as the PS2 ports, but then I went back and yeah, fantastic. I mean, it doesn't age well. The combat's pretty shitty, but it's still fun. Great nostalgia, and the town building, man. God, the town building in that game was so good. And pretty much just do everything, especially JRPG wise. Alright, oh, that's Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2. Yeah, I'll give it an A. It was good. I played this with Zach, the guy I play all the Souls games with. Yeah, it was fun. It was just, yeah, modern Dead Island. I did a video on it. Trophies were pretty straightforward, and, yeah, just overall good time. Fantastic co-op experience, but nothing that really sticks out about it, per se. Oh, wait, Demons. Oh, this is Demon Souls? Oh my god, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, Demon Souls is definitely going up here for sure. I would love to have the Demon Souls PS3 Platinum, but it was a lot harder than this one. And yeah, PS3, so nope. But yeah, Demon Souls was fantastic. Loved how gorgeous it was. It's really awesome getting to play that again, especially since I started on that one. Most of my buddies didn't get into Souls until Dark Souls or even Bloodborne, so it was cool to get to take my buddies through that from a long time ago. Easy S tier for me there. Oh, Doodle God. Doodle God, this was, yeah. Honestly, it was filler. It's not Ratta. It's not that bad. You actually need to do a bunch of combinations. But it's still just a mindless, easy plat. I'll put it in E. Why not? Oh, that's Dragon's Dogma. That's an easy S tier for me. That's the PS3 trophy, I believe. Yeah, 2012. Actually, I don't know why when I went back to play it, I loved it just as much. But I didn't have the motivation to get the platinum on it. Probably because back then I was either in high school or just out of high school, and now I have a lot of bills to pay. But Dragon's Dogma was sick. It got overshadowed by a lot of stuff like Skyrim. I don't remember what else was out at the time, but this was 10 million times better, in my opinion, than really any RPG released around its time. It was just so good. I loved the climbing mechanics. The magic, I didn't even use the magic, but the magic was so cool. The open world was so, I don't know, it felt so like very lived in and very like dirty and gritty and like real medieval fantasy. I don't know, it just gave off a much darker vibe, and it was much more brutal, the more visceral combat. It was fantastic. I think the trophies were just kind of like a do everything as well. Really good time. Really awesome, cool like New Game Plus mechanic with getting like dragon type weapons. Ugh, so good, so good. Missed that game. I can't wait for the second one. I never got to play online. I always wanted to, but can't wait for the second one. Oh yeah, Dungeon Encounters was actually, that was the hand drawn one by Square, right? Yeah, that was pretty okay. It was the guide made it way too easy, but not using the guide probably would have also made it really crappy. I'm just gonna put it in C for average. All right, let's see. I'm actually gonna go in order because I'm starting to not recognize the symbols of these guys here. Oh yeah, I guess. Where is that? Cabela's Outdoor Adventures. I used to like hunting games. Not F tier per se, but that was old school PS3 stuff. Oh, Modern Warfare Remastered. Oh yeah, that's right. The COD 4 remaster. That's right. I completely forgot about that one. I did play OG COD 4 a little bit, but my first real COD that I really got to go hard on was MW2. So yeah, that was fantastic, and of course I did go back and spend a lot of time on it. But not quite the same way as MW2, and plus I didn't put into MW2 as an S tier, so that's going to be an A tier for me on that one. Yeah, here we go. Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered. Again, I mean, it was just a campaign, so, you know, collectibles, veteran. I think, I'm hoping I remember this correctly. I think there was a trophy that was put into shoot at Shepherd early in the training, earlier in the campaign, because you know, it's a remaster, so we all eventually knew that he was the bad guy. So there was a trophy to shoot him, and it's something punny on the name about knowing the future, something I don't remember. That was good. Again, I do love the Infinity Ward stories, so that's pretty solid for me. All right, what else we got here? We did Candleman, Cat Quests, Chasm, Chernobylite. Yep. Did all these. Oh, Deathloop. Deathloop was solid. I'm honestly going to put it average. I did really like the game, and as I mentioned on my video, but nothing that crazy sticks out. I think that was actually kind of a filler game for me, and I think it actually eventually went free too. But it was it was a good game. I do like Arcane a lot. I would consider putting it in a B, but maybe if I had the Dishonored Platinums, I'd probably put those in a B because they're more like supernatural on the creepy side. But Deathloop was good, and kind of just like a do everything. Let's see what we got. Souls, best. Okay, so we already got through. Oh wait, Ayuden Chronicles. Yeah. Well, where is it? Where is it? How am I not seeing it? It's one of these. Ayuden Chronicles. This game was good. It was a pleasant surprise. It was actually like a precursor to a game of the same name, because this is Ayuden Chronicles Rising, so I think it was just Ayuden Chronicles. However, I don't know anything about that game. I don't even think it's a Metroidvania, but this was set up as a Metroidvania with super gorgeous pixel art, fast action combat, several different characters with different abilities, and RPG, rebuilding a town. This was a really awesome game, very pleasant surprise. I didn't know anything about until I saw it on the PlayStation Store. So that was definitely awesome. I think it was a little more on the time-intensive side for Platinum, like most Metroidvanias are, but that was really good. Mystopia, that actually, you know, that's a Metroidvania I'm going to put in F tier because the trophy, you don't even have to do everything. It was definitely set up to be an easy trophy grab. But it was a Metroidvania, just a very, very quick one. Let's see. Oh, Ender Lilies. Where's Ender Lilies? God, Ender Lilies was so good. I want to put it in S tier. I don't think it holds up to things like Hollow Knight and Bloodstained, but and this is such a specific niche to like, but you get your attacks are based on the enemies you kill. So, you know, Mega Man-esque, right? You know, absorbing their powers. And I just really love that. There's an old PS3 game called Folklore where that was the same thing. You mapped all these, like, demonic spirits that you absorbed and got their powers, and you mapped them to your face buttons on your controller. And those are your moves. So, like, to see that in Ender Lilies was really so incredible. That one thing makes me want to put it at an S. I won't, because it doesn't compare to those two. But it was absolutely a top-tier Metroidvania. Completely. And again, same with all the other Metroidvanias, typical Metroidvania trophy list. Fist was good. Where's Fist at? Yeah, Fist was solid. I'll still put it at an A tier. Not near as much praise as Ender Lilies. Actually, no, I'll put it in a B. It was it's more of a steampunk vibe with anthropomorphic animals. He plays a rabbit with crazy like mech fist and stuff. And it was good. It was cool. I did enjoy it, but not to the same degree there. And again, just like with every other Metroidvania, same type of list there. Oh, Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner was weird. So I think it was free for Plus, and it was very much so a reactionary game. You had to be super quick, kind of like Hotline Miami, not near that extreme, but it was like that though, and it was fun because of that. I think it's actually a decently rarer trophy of mine, 10%. It was interesting. I remember kind of slogging through it, but I wouldn't want to put it at a C though. It was definitely more than average. It was very unique as well. Oh, the Goat Simulator games, yeah. There's the Goat Simulator. I mean, it's silly and it's dumb. And I loved it so much. The same thing with 3. So I would love to put it at B, just because of how much I enjoyed it. But it's looking at what it really is. It's not that great, right? But they are fun. I definitely highly recommend playing them because of what they are. The trophy lists are mostly just do a bunch of weird shit. They both do have a lot of collectibles. You can get a list for that, no big deal. But it's really just do a bunch of weird shit and have fun doing it. Oh man. Let's see. Okay, I got all the God of Wars in there. Yep, got the Gorgoa. That's right. Gorgoa is super sick. I'll put it in a B. It was a puzzle game. Most likely gonna need a guide to do it, but it was super trippy, like perspective type puzzle game. I think there was a trophy where you had to beat it in so little amount of moves, which is definitely a lot more helpful to use a guide with, because it was awesome to experience. Definitely recommend doing your first playthrough blind just to experience it and have fun. If you're a puzzle game kind of person, if you're not, you probably won't even play it. But that was a really awesome game. Grab the Horizon games. As much as I did love the Horizon games, super gorgeous. I love the idea. It's really just a very average open world platinum style, right? And same with like the Ubisofts and stuff. And that makes sense because they're here too. Yeah, honestly, if I remember correctly, you don't even need to do quite everything, but it's do most things, especially the marked things that give you new abilities and stuff like that. With the second one, I was actually a little upset because I think it came out like a week before Elden Ring, I think. So I was like, oh my god, okay, I have a week to platinum this before I won't ever touch it again. And I did. And that's not to say anything. Everybody can platinum games quickly, that's fine. But for an open world game, I don't know, I think it's a little weirder, especially when you look at stuff like the Assassin's Creeds. Like, good luck platting those in a week with jobs and stuff like that. But they're fantastic games. I would definitely rank them a lot higher as a game. But platinum experience, pretty average, pretty down the line. Nothing too crazy. Oh, Intelligent Cube. I forgot about that game. That was one of the PlayStation remakes. I don't even want to put it at C. It was a PS1 game with weird cubes that came down. It was strange. Whatever. Mortals Phoenix Rising. Yeah, good game. I had a great time, but same thing. Very average Ubisoft open world platinum. Nothing that really makes it stand out. Again, as a game, I would put it higher. I did enjoy it quite a bit, but for platinum wise, pretty normal. Oh, In Rays of Light. Yeah, I think that was the creepy Chernobyl type game. But it definitely is on the forgetful side, and I think it was a walking sim. Maybe that was creepy. But seeing as how I'm having a hard time remembering much about it, yeah, we're definitely going to put that at the E rank. Oh, Infamous Second Son. It's going to be average. I remember liking a lot in Infamous 1 and 2. I did play through and beat them. I didn't get the plats on them. But this one I liked a lot more. Again, I love the whole like stealing powers kind of thing. That was pretty sick. I enjoyed that. But Platinum was kind of the same with the last 3. It was pretty normal open world kind of Platinum experience, except you did need to, I think if I remember correctly, you needed a good ending and a bad ending. So, and I don't know if save scumming was an option. But it's still pretty normal experience. Infliction. What is Infliction? I don't even remember what this game is. It sounds like a horror game, but the picture does not look like a horror picture, but I'm not sure. So we're gonna put that on E for very forgettable. Let's see. Okay, we got all those. Oh, there was another Lego. That's what that is. I was thinking that was something else. Lego Lord of the Rings. Where did I put Harry Potter? Did I put that in C? No, I put it in D. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, same thing though. Good filler plats, or for the people that got kids and stuff, they're great to play with kids. They're just good breather plats in my opinion. All right, we did those. Oh, Maquette. Maquette was sick, dude. That's I'll put that on the same page as Gorgoa. Again, it was a puzzle game based on perspective. Not in the way that Superliminal was, which I don't have the plat on that, but just another really great puzzle game. Super gorgeous, really fun puzzle sets to work with. I don't remember much about the trophies. It was a free plus game, but it was super sick. I liked that a lot. Oh, yeah, right. Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah, pretty average. I think that was like a filler game for me. I actually really liked the story, and I really liked the acting. I don't remember how it was received to everybody else, but I had a good time with it. It was just, again, kind of like just a normal average experience. Oh, Spider-Man, where are you, Spider-Man? Well, yeah, we'll give it an A. I mean, it's Insomniac. They killed it. I'm not a huge comic book guy. Not even really huge into the MCU. I've seen them all. I'll watch them, but like not like my main thing. But it's good. I've always liked Spider-Man and the X-Men are like the heroes that I do like a lot. So yeah, Spider-Man is fantastic. Insomniac, kills everything they do. Which actually Miles Morales should be on here as well. Should be the next one. Was trying to go random, but now it's just getting to unrecognizable emblems that I'm not sure what they are. So now I gotta compare to my list just to make sure I'm saying the right stuff. Oh, Medieval. Where's Medieval? Honestly, I loved this game as a kid, and it was really awesome seeing it in modern graphics and modern system and everything like that. But like getting the platinum kind of sucked. Just had to redo a bunch of old, outdated level design that did not age well. Again, if it was a game, I would rate it a lot higher, but just because the way that the collectibles were set out to work and having to redo levels, not a good time. Not a good time. Take a hard pass on ever getting that again. Let's see, Middle-earth. Loved Middle-earth. I would love to put it at a B, because I like the story a lot and stuff, but again, typical open world platinum experience. Mad Max I would put in there as well. I don't have, but as well as the second Shadow Mortar or whatever it's called. Average experience. Metamorphosis. I think that was like a game where you got turned into a bug. I don't remember. I think I remember liking it because again, the whole like shrunken aspect, but I don't remember in the fact that the platinum is a key is not helping me remember anything else, so I'm really not sure on that one. Which means it goes into an E. Oh, Monster Sanctuary. Monster Sanctuary is definitely going to an S. So I know, Ender Lilies didn't go up here because it can't compare to Hollow Knight and Bloodstained, but this is different. Yes, it is a Metroidvania, but it's a Pokemon Metroidvania. It's a monster collector, a team builder, but like it is so intense. Like the way you can do your builds and stack your teams together, you actually have to. If you don't, you're not gonna get far in the game, or you will hit a brick wall. Like you can very much have bad team comps, and it's, I think if I remember right, it's 3v, however many. But at any given time, and like there's skill trees and there's a lot that goes into it. This game was so amazing. I would love to see them do something else. Mortal Shell, I'm gonna actually go ahead and grab this up here too. Souls clone, not multiplayer, and that one I just had a really good time. I had a very frustrating time. It was a little on the shorter end, but out of a lot of the Souls clones we've seen, this was one of my favorites. Just with some of the ideas and mechanics of like having shells as your classes was really cool, and then you also had to do basically a no-hit run. You could get hit, but you died in one hit. So checkpoint yourself in, but then you'd still technically know you're doing all the bosses without getting hit. It was very stressful, but it wasn't too bad. But there was one boss I don't remember. It was like the icy guy. That was a fucking pain in the ass. Huge hurdle, but worth it though, and it was like very rewarding to succeed with that. All right. Oh, that's what that is. That's the second Nexomon. Yeah. So Nexomon, I already put up here in A tier. Same thing. Extinction. That's the second one, I believe. And which came out first, weirdly enough. Let me see if the dates align it. Yeah. See, Nexomon Extinction, I got in 2020, which I got it pretty close to it being brand new. I'm pretty sure. And Nexomon 1 was 2021. So weird that they did that, but still love them. Yeah, definitely going into an A tier for sure. Oh, Nier Automata. It was a really good game. I don't remember a whole lot about it trophy wise, at least. I remember there were like a bunch of weird endings and stuff. It was good. It was a good experience. Had a good time platinuming. Wasn't complaining about it. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. I'm not big into the brawlers like Smash Bros and stuff, but it is cool because I think this is my only platinum that isn't attainable anymore based on servers, so that's cool. And I am a Sony fanboy, so it's also it's cool to have all the characters fighting each other, literally just like in Smash, but you know, they kind of got that market. I do remember I actually liked it better though. You had to the only way to get knockouts was to charge your ult and then get hits with your ult, so it wasn't a percentage based thing, and I did prefer that. But again, I'm not I don't play the brawlers, so I'm sure that's not a popular opinion. Prince of Persia Forgotten Sands, I loved the old school Prince of Persia games. I don't remember crap about that. I think that was the one where you had to like decorrupt the land or something. I don't even remember that one. Oh no, Ratchet and Clank. Oh, Into the Nexus. Yeah, Into the Nexus was fantastic as well. Oh, and then here's Ratchet and Clank Back in Time. Same thing. Oh, don't want to separate those. There we go. Oh, Risk of Rain 2. I loved Risk of Rain 2. That's getting an A. I loved Risk of Rain 1 more. I loved the 2D pixel art a hell of a lot more than 2 with the open world. But 1 didn't have a platinum. I think I got all the trophies on it, but it wasn't a platinum because it was still back in that time. I would really wish they did do that, but Risk of Rain 2 was still really incredible, especially the soundtrack, man. They just kill it with the soundtrack. I remember some of the trophies being pretty tricky. I don't remember exactly what, but I do remember being a little on the tricky side, or maybe time investment side, but I had a good time. Alright, let's see. What are we missing now? Already got my South Park, SpongeBob, Ray Subnautica, okay. Oh, Siphon Filter. Siphon Filter, it was... I did play him as a kid, but not like that, so it had some nostalgia in it, but only so much. I was like, oh, I kind of remember playing this with my dad as a kid, so not a ton there. Not quite like Wild Arms. Wild Arms I definitely played. I don't know how old I was when these games came out, but going back and playing them on PS1, yeah, absolutely incredible. Love JRPGs, one of my favorite genres, so that's definitely going to get an A for sure. Typical JRPG type trophy list. Honestly, actually, I think it's a little easier. I'm trying to remember. Not as much craziness on the do everything, I don't think, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. But it was a great experience. Wolf Among Us. Wolf Among Us was good. It's getting to average for me. I'm not a Telltale guy. The narrative stuff is neat. I did really enjoy that. But also having to do like different paths and options and stuff. Not always a big fan of, like a fan of for the gaming, but not a fan of for redoing for trophies and stuff. It was a good game, but not too impressed on the trophies.
Along as I
Blast
could.
him?
Only thing I managed to get from it was a free drink every now and again.
Get him a free drink then.
Not a good that did.
Trials of Mana. Trials of Mana was sick. I loved Trials of Mana. Again, JRPG, fantastic. A lot of multiple playthroughs, but the follow-up ones are super fast because you have to play them in pairs of the characters you can select from the beginning. It didn't fit. It was a longer plat for sure. I think it was like maybe 40 to 60 hours. I might be totally wrong on that. But it was still very good, very enjoyable. The Stanley Parable, that game was very funny, very good, very meta. Love it. Nothing special. It's a walking sim. You're really just playing it to hear the comedy from the narrator that they wrote, but good time for sure. Oh, actually, one note on that. The trophies are a little annoying. I don't remember what it is, but I think you need to like come back to the game after 1 year or something like that, and I don't know if the idea is to actually do that, but I think the majority of achievement hunters and trophy hunters are just going to mess with their system clock. But because of that, and we did a video with this, I had to save the footage on my console, and now whenever I sort things by time, it is always number 1 because it's dated on the console in the future. So it's really annoying. I just haven't deleted it. But it's fantastic. It was a fun time. Let's see. Uncharted, we'll put an average. I do always get a hankering for the adventurous treasure hunting stuff, but pretty average. Doing stuff on crushing difficulty sucks, and there's way too many collectibles for their own good. Almost makes me want to put it in a D, but it's still a good time. I mean, who doesn't love the Uncharted games? Undertale, might make some people mad, but I just didn't care. I just did not care, man. I was just trying to rush through that, and I did not have a good time. I like the tunes, I like the songs for sure, but it's what wasn't for me. So that'll go. I could put, and no, it's gonna stay in an E. Staying in an E. Oh, the way human brains work is so funny to me because unpacking is absolutely gonna get an A for me, and it's literally just a game, pretty much about OCD organization. You literally. You go through like this girl's life from being a kid to moving out and getting her first apartment, then moving in with a partner and stuff like that, and you just have to unpack stuff out of boxes and find a spot for it and make it make sense. And it's very satisfying for how simple it is. But if you're not OCD, you might not like that one. It might not be enough for you. Let's see. We Were Here 2. I already put We Were Here 1 up here. Is that an A, right? I'm pretty sure I did, but there's so many in A now. Where is it at? No, I put it in B. Put it in B. Did that one with Scott. Yep. Well, let's put it in the right order. There we go. Yeah, same thing. I don't remember if I have the third one or not, but I think there's actually 4 now, or they're working on the 4th one maybe. Minecraft Dungeons, I'm not a Minecraft fan, but it was like their take on Diablo, and they actually had a lot of really neat items that made it fun, kind of like Diablo-esque items. Yeah, I'll give it a B, because I think that was one where I didn't expect to get the platinum, but I actually enjoyed enough to get the platinum. Well, a nice little pleasant surprise there. The pleasant surprise stuff will always get a little bit higher of a ranking for me, just because, I don't know, you want to get every platinum, you plan to get every platinum, but then when you start playing something, you're like, maybe not, but you're like, well, never mind. Yeah. Oh wait, this is Beast Quest. That's right. This was an absolute filler game, absolute trash. I don't even remember much about it. I think it was a turn-based combat game. There it is. Oh, Far Cry New Dawn. Whatever. Throw that in the average. It was cool because I don't like the Far Cry games enough to platinum them. I actually really liked 3 back in the day. Tried to go back and platinum it. Couldn't. Love the skill tree being tattoos on your arms. That was super cool. Not enough to make beat the game. I tried 3, tried 4, tried 5. Haven't played 6, but I played this DLC though. In 1, you get a double jump. Really weird for a game that's relatively based in reality. But it was on the shorter end. You got to do some base upgrading, so that was awesome. So, all right, there we go. Out of my 216 platinum trophies, here is the tier list on them. Man, yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's so funny because when you look at it like this, it really doesn't look like a whole lot, but it is. This took forever. Again, I apologize for the rattas, but look at that. That list ain't too bad in terms of rattas. It could definitely be worse, with a lot of the people that do the region pops and stuff like that. No judgment. I got my own too. But yeah, so thanks for sticking around, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you dig the content. And let me know what some of your most proud platinums are in the comments down below. I would definitely like to see at least a version of your ranked list, but this was a long video, so thanks, guys. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Thanks, Dad.